In this episode, we visit Tunnel Hill mushrooms, we climb to the top of Mount Wellington, we base ourselves out of Sorell and visit all the things in Hobart that we missed the first time around. We do some Christmas shopping, we head to Mona, we drive out to Bruny Island and visit the Tahune Airwalk. The Gordon Dam was highlight. Mount Feild National Park. Get there.
Oh, what a beautiful day. With the ones I love, I'll always stay. Living my best life, come what may. Together we shine in every way. Friends around the picnic table, sharing dreams we're truly able. In this moment hearts align, creating memories pure and divine. Oh, what a beautiful day. With the ones I love, I'll always stay. Living my best life, come what may. Together we shine in every way. For the laughter and the tears, we'll treasure this through all the years. Hand in
Next stop, Tunnel Hill Mushrooms. This was our school for the day. Owner Dean took us on a tour of his laboratory from the inception of mushrooms and all the way through the phases of how they grow into the tunnel. He ships all across the mainland and has some special varieties that only grow very well in those conditions in the tunnel in Tasmania, and one of those being the king oyster mushrooms. We bought some tinctures off Dean and we really love the quality that they are. We've had mushrooms and taken mushrooms the last couple of years, and I can say that these are quite strong and very good for the body. The tour itself, you can book, and Dean also does functions. You just got to reach out to him on his website. But we had a fascinating time learning all about the stages of the mushrooms. So I'd highly recommend this tour. I'd highly recommend catching up with Dean and his mushroom tunnel. After that, we headed up to the top of Hobart to Mount Wellington. We cruised up as they were doing some works. It was a very tight turns. Do not take your caravan up there. Maybe take your motorhome up there, but definitely the car. We got to see all of Hobart from above. It was a great bird's eye view, huge viewing platforms. It was a bit windy on the day, but made for a lovely afternoon. Next stop for us is Mona.
we got a hot tip from the neighbours that were camping beside us at Sorel to visit Glebe Hill and watch the Christmas Tesla light display. It was actually so much fun, but highly ridiculous.
One more.
When visiting Tasmania. It was absolutely howling the day we were there, so all the trees were swaying as we were 18 metres high off the ground doing the skywalk. Suspension bridges are a fantastic way to cross the rivers as the fork in the river meets. A really great spot to walk across and do a nice big loop. We also did the Hue and Pine loop. While we were out that way, we went to the Agave Falls, which was absolutely raging because we'd had about 100 mil of rain the day before. Great scenery. It's a very tight track and very windy. Nice and cold up there the day we were there. From there, next day we headed down to Bruny Island. We caught the ferry across on the Sea Link ferry, which only took us about 20 minutes each way and leaves every 20 minutes most days of the week. The highlights for us there were the lighthouse and the Bruny Hotel. We did visit the Chocolatieri, and we also went from north to south and saw everything we could. We found that a day was enough time and kick back and see what we got up to. Oh, this has taken a few takes, but sit back and enjoy some of the viewing we got on our drone. I did just say that you could see Antarctica. Clearly you can't. That's about 150,000 kilometres away from the edge of Bruny Island. That was the most southerly part of Bruny Island at the lighthouse, and it has a rich history if you go up there and check it out. You can do guided tours, they're $25 per adult, but we've seen enough lighthouses, we know how they work. Hopefully they keep the ships off the shore, and it was just a nice little thing to do for the morning. That finishes our time on Bruny Island. Now we head west, out to the west coast of Tasmania, where the hills become steeper, the roads become windier, and the conditions become a little colder and rainier. So next stop is Mount Feild National Park. We've got some great things to do over in the west. Follow on and see what we get up to.
The Dam Wall at about 10:30. It's just out of Strathgordon on the west coast of Tasmania. The day itself today was actually miserable and the weather was putrid, but we made the most of it anyway. We drove the 97 k's out to the dam wall, stopping a few times to see the views, one of which we were nearly blown off the mountainside. First stop was McFartland's boat ramp on Lake Pedder, where the boys tried to fish, very unsuccessfully as it was running way too fast. The next stop was Lake Pedder Lookout. Lake Pedder, which was once a glacial outwash lake, is a man-made reservoir and diversion lake. In addition to its natural catchment of the Franklin Ranges, the lake is formed from the 1972 damming of the Serpentine and Huon rivers by the Hydroelectric Commission. The lake has a surface area of approximately 242 square kilometres, making it Tasmania's second largest lake. And I tell you what, it's impressive. Looking out towards the lake, we could see glimpses of it through the cloud that was very low and the wind that was trying to push us off the mountain. We then made our way out to the dam wall. The Gordon Dam was constructed in 1974 for the purpose of generating hydroelectric power. The dam is a major gated double curvature concrete arch dam with a controlled spillway across the Gordon River. The Gordon Dam wall, constructed with 154,000 cubic metres of concrete, is a massive 198 metres long and 140 metres high, making it the tallest dam in Tasmania and the 5th tallest in Australia. It was amazing, and to top it off, you can actually walk along the dam wall. We make our way back towards the caravan, but decide to stop in at Tahune Caves and take the small walk through the bush to check it out. short stroll through nature and it leads you to the entrance of the caves, where the Junee River rises to the surface after travelling underground for 30 kilometres and through over 300 caves. It was pretty awesome.
Okay, our camera crews
Amateurs.
is not quite stellar. However, the backdrop is very beautiful. So we're staying at the Feild National Park, which is a really, really good option if you're on the west coast and you want to go see the Gordon Dam and Lake Pedder. We did all that yesterday when the weather wasn't so good, so you'll see some footage of that, but we're just doing some of the walks that you can do straight out of the campground. The prices for the campground?
$16 for no power and $20 for power and water.
Yeah, and
super cheap.
Also got they've also got facilities for toilets and showers, $2 for a shower, but there's limited spots and there's also plenty of trees, so make sure that when it gets really windy, none of the trees hit your van, so just have a look around. It's on there's a nice river that runs around the back of it too, which the boys have tried some fishing with no success, but we're doing the couple walks. So we're doing the Russell Falls walk, which we've just completed, which is a large waterfall made even more ferocious by the rains that we had yesterday. Then we're on the Horseshoe Bend track, which links up to the Tall Trees walk. So we'll chuck in some footage and show you the Tall Trees walk. This is the remnants of one of the tall trees, which is no longer, it's been uprooted. But very lovely countryside in the west of Tasmania.
Absolutely. Well worth visiting. Make sure you've got your parks pass so you can't come.
Yep, parks pass, $20 a night for power, 16 for unpowered, and what's that, Hubs? Oh, you get stamps at the visitor centre. The girls are very excited about that. Visitor centre here is really cool too. It's only
really
open certain times. It's got a cafe. You can actually buy equipment if you need it. So hiking equipment, like limited stuff, talking about EPIRBs and camelbacks and first aid kits and
Gators.
so on. So if you're not prepared, there is an option here for you, but it's one where you've got plenty of options for walks if you're into them. So check it all out, and this is some footage from our walk from the national parks from Feild camping spot.
What